of the muscle car era, somebody had to take a real chance to appeal to the speed-minded youth market, and that would be Pontiac. Few renegades in the company ignored corporate policy against stock car racing and packed a massive 389 cubic inch engine into a small, lightweight model. And thus, the GTO was born.
I'm here with my 64 GTO. It's a post car, factory 389 tri-power 4-speed. My dad, he brought it home on a trailer in pieces when I was 14. Said this is going to be my first car. It was intended to just really be just a, kind of put it together as a driver. And as we got into it, we obviously went a little overboard for an everyday driver in restoring it.
Considered by many to be the first muscle car, it was the shot heard round Detroit. Pontiac essentially took an old man's car, the Tempest, and made it cool with big power, a 3-speed Hurst shifter, sport suspension, wide wheels, hood scoops, dual exhaust, and special badging, and took it to the streets.
This is the car that I learned how to work on cars.
The GTO opened the door for everyone that was waiting to produce a sexy road beast that was affordable, mean, and fun to drive.
Drives like it from the 60s. I built the car back all original, manual brakes, manual steering. Goes great when you're going straight. I think that's what it was built for. My dad had 30 to 40 GTOs over the years, I'm guessing. Of course, then he brought this car home for me. That's been my favorite passion all these years.
Available in a 2-door coupe, hardtop, and convertible body styles, the GTO became an overnight performance success that would speak to the new muscle car generation. And obviously, anyone with a pulse would be hard-pressed not to love the measure of grab and go this car had to offer. Certainly, it's not a torque monster compared to many of today's modern muscle masters, but who can deny what Pontiac started? You be the judge. Oh wait, that's a different story. In the early 60s, at the beginning of the muscle car era, building an affordable high-performance car was key.
Now fast forward toward the end of the decade, our next Road Warrior was one of the most expensive muscle cars to roll out of Detroit.
And some might say, how can you put a price on high performance?
I think the best way to put it is, all rise, here comes the judge. Beautifully formed steel, a mixture of battleship ego and smart mouth sass. Pontiac's The Judge GTO was a concept developed by John DeLorean. DeLorean started with an intermediate-sized platform and added a big V8 with enough torque to pull a freight train. Added some performance and luxury options, but what to call it? The Judge was borrowed from a comedy line used in a popular TV show, Laugh In. DeLorean said, yes, let's give them The Judge.
The younger generation in the muscle car era, they wanted more power. They wanted faster cars, and they gave them faster cars. That's what they gave them. And those saying back in those days is what wins on race day sells on Monday.
Designed to compete with the Plymouth Roadrunner, Pontiac actually gave you less for more money. For an extra $300, they took stuff off the GTO and called it a weight reduction option. Clever, but no cutting corners as far as style goes. The design team was hard at work. Just look at the color and those groovy graphics. Now, aside from the color scheme, Pontiac's strongest feature was under the hood. The Judge was going up against the Hemis and the Chevy big blocks of the day. So the top engine option was the big and beefy Ram Air 4. This 400 cubic inch ground pounder was not just your run-of-the-mill big V8. It was a performance beast rated at 370 horsepower, but was more like 400 horses. The Ram Air feature utilized an upper and lower pan to direct maximum airflow, with enough snap-off-the-line punch to give you a case of whiplash. The Ram Air 4 delivered 445 foot-pounds of torque, almost as much torque as a first-gen Dodge Viper. loud and proud. This goat screams anything but subtle. The design team launched with a carousel red paint scheme and plenty of decals and badging, so you knew the judge was in town. The Enduro nose piece, rear spoiler, hood-mounted tack, functional ram air scoops, Hurst shifter, and plush bucket seats. Everything needed for a full floor show. The regular GTO was nice. A version with the Ram Air 3 was sweet. But the judge with the Ram Air 4 says, "I'm here, now let the party begin."